So in today's video, we're going to look at two things that you should be using on your Apple Watch, but are probably not, or even if you are using them, you're not using them to their full ability. They are the widgets and the smart stack, and double tap and wrist flick. Let's go and have a look at how you should be setting them up. So let's start off by looking at your widgets and your smart stack. So your widgets live in your smart stack, and here they are. Now when you look at yours, you might see there's actually no rhyme or reason why they're in the order they are. Now I've got mine set up a little bit differently. So what I have done, I have the top three and I use them as complications. So you can see I've got my activity rings. The middle one is called voice in a can, and that's so I can use Amazon through my Apple Watch. And the third one is my battery level. Now if I scroll up again through these, you'll see I've got traditional strength training there. So today is one of the days where I do some very light weightlifting, but this is the smart stack setup on this. So this comes into my smart stack because it knows that today is normally one of my weight training days. So it puts it there straight away. So I can go in if I want to and just hit that, and it'll take me to my heavy routine. So it's really useful when it becomes smart. And it's the same when I go out for a run. On the days I go for a run, it will come up in my smart stack with the running activity. I just scroll up, hit that, and away I go. So it makes it really easy. The other ones I've got in here, I've not pinned them, but I've added them to the smart stack so they always appear. So every time I scroll up, I'll always see my running distance for the month and the weather and wind, along with a bit more detail on my activity rings. So if you want to set this up, it's really easy. First thing you do is scroll to the bottom of your stack like I have here and hit the edit button. Then you'll see you've got access to your widgets. Now, as you can see on the first one, which is the complications, these are just additional things I don't want on my watch face, but I like to see them quite often. So what you can do, you can see this is pinned. So you can pin things to the top of the list, and that's what happens in this case. So I can, if I just go back to that, I can unpin that. So it's now unpinned and it won't appear at the top of the screen anymore. It'll just appear wherever in the list. But I like it pinned to the top. So to pin something so it appears at the top, just press the pin. I can then press the second one and that will pin that, and that will be always second down from the top. And you can see you can pin all your widgets if you want them in a nice list. What you get then is suggestions to go on your list. And you can see there's a couple there that I have on. If you go to widget suggestions, it'll say allow widget suggestions, so it allows you to see them. And then smart stack hints. And as it says there, an icon can appear at the bottom of your watch face when there's a timely suggestion in the smart stack. Now what that means is, if I go back here to the home screen, down in the middle at the bottom here, if it was time for me to do a run, say 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I know I've got my complication there, but a little man would show up there running. If I'm using my camera, a little camera symbol will show up there to go to the remote using the watch. So that can be useful also. So I would suggest that you always have allow widget suggestions, and you always let it have smart stack hints set on as well, so it can hint you. And then you get the chance to say which apps do you want it to suggest. Now you can have where you go down and, for example, let's have a look. Find items, it says allow all, so that I'll allow all suggestions, widget suggestions, to come through on the watch. If I hit it, I can actually then say whether I want that one to happen or not. just by quickly hitting this tab on or off. And if there's ones with more widgets on, try and find something. So I don't allow to have photo widget suggestions on normally. You can see here, don't allow. So it doesn't show photos on my widget list because I just don't think I need it. But you can go through that and check to see what widget suggestions you want on. Now then, once you've set that up, you'll find that your widget stack becomes much smarter and much easier to use. You can add a widget wherever you want like this as well. So you can just add a widget there, and you can add any widget you want. Then you can pin it as well. And once you've done that, hit tick. Your widget stack will then start to operate how you want it, with your pinned items at the top, so you've got easy access to them. Then you'll have things that you do on a regular basis. It will tell you about them. And any other widgets you've added to it will show up there. So you get to see the widgets you want to see and not just random widgets that come up anytime. So it's really useful. Now for the second part of this video, we're going to look at double tap and wrist flick. And these are probably two things that Apple introduced that are probably underused. And they're especially useful now you've got your widgets set up. For example, if you now want to go and look at your widgets, all you have to do is tap your forefinger and thumb, and it'll start scrolling through your widgets. Once you reach the bottom, the next tap will take you back to the top. And if you want to go back to your watch face, all you do, flick your wrist, and it takes you back to your normal watch face. This can also be used to answer calls. So you could get a call come up, double tap, it'll answer that call. Now you set this up in settings. So let's have a look at that. So if wrist flick and double tap aren't working for you, then you probably will need to go and switch them on. Now normally they are set as on by default, but if they're not for some reason, all you need to do is press digital crown, go to settings, then scroll up, and you'll see gestures. Tap on gestures, make sure gestures is switched on, and down in double tap, make sure that is switched on also. And if you scroll down, you can see some of the things you can do. So I have it set up when I've got music playing or video, something like that. Double tap will play or pause it. It'll advance my smart stack as I showed you earlier. You can also set that to select it if you wish. Vision Pro I haven't got, and that's it. So make sure gestures is on and double tap is on as well. If you scroll down further, you'll see you'll want to make sure that wrist flick is also selected. Once you've done that, it will all work perfectly well, and the more you use it, the more it will become second nature, and you'll find that you're doing it without thinking about it, and it can make things so much quicker and easier. That's it for this video. If you've enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you.